I see something coming out of baby's head when they find out what it was. It left them in awe. Giving birth to a baby is not an easy job, having said that it is the most happiest moment a woman can experience. That feeling cannot be experienced in words. Once the process gets over and you see the baby face for the first time, you'll be cherishing it for a lifetime. If possible, take pictures of the first glimpse of you and baby. Bonding and attachment happen when you consistently respond to newborns with love, warmth, and care. Newborns use body language to show when they want to connect with you. Good ways to bond with newborns, including smiling, eye contact, singing, reading, and cuddling. Most women would say they enjoy childbirth. There are parts of pregnancy that are definitely enjoyable, like feeling your baby move for the first time and things like that, but most of it is not physically enjoyable for most women. Yet most women would not trade the experience of pregnancy and childbirth for the world. It's like someone who runs a marathon or does something extremely hard and taxing. It's something you prepare for, but not necessarily enjoy while it's happening. The perk is that you can look back on it, see how much it made you grow emotionally and how much confidence it gave you for your tolerance and strength. A change in the baby's genes, such as a mutation or extra chromosomes. Some types of medicines taken during pregnancy, used during pregnancy. A birth defect, also called a congenital disorder or congenital anomaly, is a health problem that a baby is born with. There are many different types of birth defects and they can range from mild to severe. The story of Noah Wall is truly amazing as it's a case of brain growth. From an anatomical point of view, without a doubt this story represents scientific curiosity. It goes beyond that, it also broadens the knowledge regarding the human brain. In short, this amazing case of brain growth is related to an English boy named Noah Wall. He was born with only 2% of his brain. The fact that he was able to live is an unusual fact in itself. However, the most incredible thing of all is that over the years and thanks to care and treatments, he managed to develop up to 80% of normal brain volume. Now, it's impossible to overlook something regarding this already fantastic case of brain growth. We're referring to the fight that Noah's parents had to carry out. His mother and father are the reason that this British boy is alive. Undoubtedly, this story is an example that some limits only exist in the mind. This is a case of foolproof faith, effort, and perseverance. Noah Wall from Carlisle, Cumbria, developed a rare brain condition in the womb, which is when a baby's spine does not develop properly. Early in his mom's pregnancy, with doctors revealing he would be paralyzed from the chest down. Early scans also showed he would likely be missing a quarter of his brain at birth due to a parencephalic cyst on his head, which was destroying his brain. Noah also had a rare condition called hydrocephalus, which is a life-threatening condition that leads to an accumulation of fluid within the brain. As the pregnancy progressed, Noah began to develop more complications, and doctors believed he could develop Edwards syndrome and Padau's syndrome. A baby with Edwards syndrome has 3 copies of chromosome number 18 instead of 2, just 13, and 100 babies born alive with Edwards syndrome, live past 1. Padau's syndrome is a serious rare genetic mark caused by having an additional copy of chromosome 13. Only 1 in 10 children with this disorder survived past a year. A do not resuscitate order was placed on Noah, and his parents were asked 5 times if they wanted to terminate the pregnancy. Noah's mom, Michelle, recalls how difficult her pregnancy was. She didn't know whether her baby would survive until the moment he was born. The distraught parents had gone through the heartbreaking process of choosing a coffin and were arranging for a funeral before Noah was born. As a parent, you don't want to believe what they're saying, but it's reality. Michelle explains, but you've got to go home. Tell your family that we might have to bury him. We always tried to be positive, always, even though we were given such a horrendous situation. But against all odds, Noah was born on March 6, 2012, weighing 9 pounds 7 ounces. Was able to breathe on his own. His mom cried when he took his first breath, as this indicated he had a chance of surviving. Describing the day Noah was born, Mrs. Wall added, the day he was born was amazing. We waited with bated breath. The couple were admitted to the hospital a week before Mrs. Wall's due date because the pressure on Noah's brain was becoming dangerous. There were 12 doctors in the operating theater as experts performed a C-section, but as he came into the world, they were given a sign. Mr. Wall said he let out this amazing scream. We knew there was power there. Now the family send regular updates to doctors who told them Noah wouldn't make it. Mrs. Wall said, he's extraordinary. We send them emails and pictures, and we take them presents at Christmas time. The couple have been given an assessment at a pioneering Australian clinic where medics combine physiotherapy and cognitive training to train the brain. He's confined to a wheelchair, but with the help of the clinic hopes to try out for some of his favorite sports. Noah took one life-affirming scream when he was born and tears just rolled down my cheeks. Michelle explains it was incredible. It was emotional shortly after his birth, and MRI scan revealed Noah was actually born with just 2% of his physical brain. After 7 weeks, he had a shunt put in his head and a soft tube to drain the liquid down his neck into the abdomen. He'll likely require tests and surgeries throughout his life. Michelle, who works as a full-time carer, said doctors told us he would be in a vegetative state. He wouldn't be able to communicate, told us he might not be able to speak, hear, eat, or anything. But he can tell the time he reads, he does math, he loves science, he can talk about the solar system, he has incredible dreams and even more incredible knowledge. Earlier this month, Noah celebrated his 9th birthday. I love having people around on my birthday. This birthday was different, but it was still special, Noah says. With a special day, Michelle said Noah's birthday celebrations are emotional for the family every year as it reminds them of how far they've come and how extraordinary Noah's progress has been. Noah, who uses a wheelchair, has revealed he hopes to play football one day. When I went to Newcastle Stadium, I was on the grass, and I was amazed. One day, I'm going to run and score a goal. He says he has also outlined his hope of one day falling in love and having his own children. Although Noah has already had 11 surgeries and faces a lifetime of operations, the family says they're still determined and hopeful he will get to fulfill his dreams. It's been an absolute joy to see him grow up and see him become the unique boy that he is. Michelle explains, it's astonishing to me how smart he is. We've spent a lot of time with him, and every single day he does something that impresses me. I'm so extremely proud of him. He's my son. His goal in life is to run. It's what he wants to do. I'll help him all I can and always be there for him. Noah is a proud patron of Variety, a charity which works with disabled, sick, and disadvantaged children, as well as the Music Man Project, which puts disabled children on the UK's biggest stages. As the pregnancy progressed, Noah began to develop more complications, and doctors believed he may develop Edwards syndrome and Patau syndrome. A baby with Edwards syndrome has 3 copies of chromosome number 18 instead of 2, and sadly just 13 and 100 babies born alive with Edwards syndrome, live past 1. Patau syndrome is a serious rare genetic disorder caused by having an additional copy of chromosome 13, and only 1 in 10 children with the disorder survive past a year. But thankfully, against all odds, Noah was born healthy and was able to breathe on his own. She added, Noah took one life-affirming scream when he was born and tears just rolled down my cheeks. It was incredible. It was emotional. After 7 weeks, he had a shunt put into his head and a soft tube to drain the liquid down his neck and into his abdomen, which will likely require tests, surgeries throughout his life. The alert child has many interests and ambitions, even though he faces a number of surgeries, his mother told the media. But he can tell the time he reads, he does math, he loves science, he can talk about the solar system, he has incredible dreams and even more incredible knowledge. It's been an absolute joy to see him grow up and to see him become the unique boy that he is. Michelle explains, it's astonishing to me how smart he is. We've spent a lot of time with him, and every single day he does something to impress me. As part of the Music Man Project, a music education service for children, adults with a learning disability, Noah took part in a concert at Royal Albert Hall. It's unclear from media accounts whether Noah's brain was absent or simply very compressed, estimated to be about 2% at birth. It was about 80% of normal on examination. When he was 3 years old, what is and isn't necessary for the human brain to function can sometimes seem to be far from exact science at present. It's sobering to think that many Noahs may have been deemed incapable of an assisted normal life and allowed or assisted to die. What is sished into callus hydrocephalus is a buildup of fluid on the brain. The excess fluid can put pressure on the brain, which can damage it. Noah developed congenital hydrocephalus present at birth caused by the Spina Bifida. He was also diagnosed with long-term complications, can include learning disabilities, impaired speech, memory problems, short attention span, problems with organizational skills, vision problems such as squint and visual impairment, and problems with physical coordination. The condition can usually be treated using a shunt, a thin tube that is surgically implanted in the brain, drains the way the excess fluid. Let yourself enjoy your baby the same way any new parent would, by cuddling and playing, watching for developmental milestones, even if they're different from those in other children, and sharing your joy with family members and friends. Some parents wonder if they should send birth announcements. This is a personal decision. The fact that your baby has a health problem doesn't mean you shouldn't be excited about the new addition to your family. Understanding your child's condition can help you get them the best care possible. Go to your child's doctors and care team with any questions.